What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to drill a hole through stone. In this case we've got a stone bench top, but whether it's marble, granite, porcelain, any of that tougher material, it's going to be the exact same process. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it so that we can install a PowerPoint, also install a tap. Nice and simple, do it all yourself from home. Let's get straight into it, guys. Let's do this. Alright guys, so today I'm going to show you how to drill through a stone slab. We've got here an offcut of a kitchen bench top, so you can see 40mm edge, 20mm slab in the middle, and we're going to be drilling through this in order to allow for a tap or even a PowerPoint or anything else that you need to run through it. Now this is going to save you guys a lot of money, because if you need to get somebody out to drill through this, they're going to charge you an arm and a leg. So it's actually pretty easy and cheap to do yourself. What you need is a diamond hole saw bit, just like this one here. Now it's called a diamond hole saw bit because if you have a look on top there, you can see it sparkling away. It looks like diamonds. Now that's going to allow you to cut straight through our stone, marble, granite, any kind of really dense material. This is going to allow you to go through nice and easy. Now you can use this dry, meaning you don't put any lubricant or any water to cool it down. It won't last very long if you do that. So what we're going to use as well is just a little spray bottle with some water in there, and that's going to help cool down our bit and allow it to last for a lot longer. Now a lot of people out there might be thinking, should I buy just the one on its own or should I buy a whole kit? Always better to buy a whole kit because it's a lot cheaper. You'll get all your different attachments. You can see here we've got a pilot bit as well. Once again, a specialty bit that's going to cut through stone material, also glass, tiles, anything like that. These do go blunt fairly quick as well. So once again, make sure it's lubricated. I'll show you guys how to do it both with the pilot bit and without, because I know a lot of people out there don't buy the full kit. They'll end up buying just the hole saw itself, and that's fine if you've just got one or two holes to do. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it without the pilot bit as well. So the first hole we're going to drill is going to be using a 38mm hole saw bit with our little pilot bit right here as well, making sure that our drill is not on hammer function. We've got our spray bottle. I'm just going to give it a couple little squirts as we go along. That's just going to cool down the drill bit. So line it up wherever you like and just start drilling away. You want to go consistent, don't go too fast, don't go too slow, and try and keep your drill bit nice and straight. You can stop at any point, give it a couple more squirts if you like. At the moment we've only got our pilot bit going through. Once you see a bit of dust starting to come up, give it another spray. That's going to suppress the dust and cool down our bit. And there you have it. We've now got our bit completely drilled out. You can use a screwdriver, pop that excess material out. So I'll quickly wipe away this excess material here. And if you have a close look there, we've got a beautiful hole drilled out nicely. It does take a little bit of time. You just have to have a little bit of patience. Make sure that you're always cooling down that bit so that it lasts a lot longer and you get a lot more holes out of it. Now our PowerPoint is going to be a little bit different. First of all, we're not going to use a pilot bit, so I'm going to show you guys how to start that hole off to make sure it doesn't bounce around on the surface. Next thing is, because if we have a look at the back here, we've got two little screws. Okay, these screws here are what's going to fix this to the actual surface. So we need to also create two little holes that are tiny, just like that, in order to put some plugs in, and then followed by screws. Now you can have a look at the back here. You can see the electrical connection. We just need to make sure that the hole size, or the hole saw size that we pick, is going to be large enough to sit right over the top. That's going to make sure that this is actually going to sit flush on your bench top. If we used our 38mm bit, it's actually not big enough, so that won't fit. So we'll quickly drill this hole out here for the center. Then I'll show you guys how to mark up, and we'll drill out our little screw locations here for our plugs to go in. So now we've got our new hole saw installed, and I've removed the pilot bit as well, so I can show you guys how to drill a hole if you haven't got a pilot bit. Always advise use a pilot bit. It's much safer. You won't risk bouncing around on the surface. But basically what we're going to do here is we're not going to start with the drill nice and square or flush up against the table. We're going to start it on about a 45-degree angle. Okay, and we're going to slowly start that drill up, get it to cut in just a little bit, and then speed it up slowly. As the speed starts to pick up, we're going to tilt our drill back over and have that one there sitting nice and flat. So hopefully this is a decent angle for you guys to see. Going to do the exact same thing right here in the middle, but we're going to start off nice and slow. So now I've got that little corner right there that you can see started. I'm going to slowly start tilting it forward. And now at this point we've got it nicely recessed in the area that we need. We can start using our lubricant or our water in this case. Give it a couple more pumps first. Spray that area, spray the drill bit, make sure it stays nice and cool. Now you might have noticed that as I'm drilling this, I actually rotate the drill around just slightly. That's going to help allow the teeth to cut into it nice and easy, but at the same time you don't want to overdo it because then you're going to blow out your hole a lot wider than it needs to be. And I'll quickly clean this section here off. So once again, we've got a nice clean hole, perfectly drilled through that bench top. What we're going to do now is we're going to line up where we want our power point to be. So we'll drop that one there in place. What I'm going to do next is you can take a Sharpie or a texter, whatever you want, just to mark the locations for your screws. In my case, I'm going to be using this center punch right here. This is a spring-loaded center punch. If you haven't got one, I'd definitely recommend getting one of these. So handy. What you want to do, once you're happy with the position, line it up in that hole and just simply push down. You'll hear that little click. That's now marked the location. Once again, do the same on the other side. I can now remove it, and I've got two little indentations right here that's going to be a little bit hard for you guys to see. I'll see if I can bring it in a bit closer and show you guys. What we do in this case is we're going to take another hole saw bit. This one here is a lot smaller. It's a core drilling bit. Once again, diamond coated. This one here is a 6mm bit that we're going to be using. Now this little one here, I only just picked this one here up because this thing looked pretty interesting. This one here is actually a self-feeding water or lubricant. So what you do with this, if you've got tiles that you're working on, you can click this one here in place, lock it in, then you take out this little reservoir that we've got, open it up, fill it up with water or whatever lubricant you're using, slide that one there in, and that's going to automatically self-feed or self-drip down into those holes. Now, once again, we've got little holes here. That means if you don't have a pilot bit, that's going to allow you to keep it nice and straight while you're going through that hole. So that's the reason why I bought this one here, is so that I can try it out on some porcelain tiles, because porcelain tiles really damage my masonry bits, and I really need to be starting using diamond bits on porcelain tiles. So that's for another video, guys. I'll show you guys how to drill through tiles without breaking them, using your drill on hammer function. Definitely need to watch that one when it comes out. But anyway, we're going to swap this one here over, and we're going to repeat the exact same process. However, this time around, it's going to be a little bit hard for you guys to see, but this center point here is a reference point. We're not trying to go directly into that hole there. That's going to be a reference point for me to center this one here and just simply go over the top. Now, once again, we can use our specialty bit that we've got right here. However, this one here will create a pretty large hole, almost a 10mm hole, by using that one there. So we're going to be using our 6mm drill bit, do the exact same thing, put it on a bit of an angle, slowly go through, then straighten it up. So once again, we'll clean this section here off. And you can see there we've got a nice clean hole. There's a little bit of gunk inside, so I'll just quickly push that there through. And we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. So now we can take our 6mm plugs, drop those ones there in place, give them a little tap. As they come down, use something made out of rubber so you don't damage your surface. Now this section here, I've blown the hole out just slightly bigger, so if we push that one there through, it's actually a little bit loose. So what we can do is we take the next size up, line that one there up once again, and tap it down in place. Now you don't always have to go all the way down. What you can do instead is just cut them nice and flush, take a razor blade or a utility knife, take that one there off just like that. It's now sitting nice and flush. We can take our power point, line it up until we're nice and happy. And in this case, we're going to be using 20mm screws. So 20mm means it's not going to go through past that slab or through the back end of it. Now don't ever tighten it too tight with the drill, especially when working on tiles or stone. You then run the risk of cracking the surface. So that one there is nicely mounted. Take our cover, and now we've got our power point nicely installed, apart from the electrical side. But that's a nice easy way to get around cutting stone or marble or granite, even porcelain tiles, doing it yourself from home, nice and simple. It's not scary. It's very, very simple to do. If you are worried, go out there and just buy a spare tile on its own, practice on that first, and then come over to your project that you don't want to cause any damage to, and that'll work nicely. So once again, we've now got our power point. We can drop our tap in. And once that's installed from the base, that there, guys, is how to drill into stone. Nice and simple. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. You've learned something new. As always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto. So for those of you who have made it to the end of the video, thank you very much for watching all the way through. There's just one more thing that I want to test out. It's not really part of this video, but I've never actually tried it. So what I want to do is use a regular masonry bit on my hammer drill and try and drill a hole straight through this. Now, whenever you're drilling through that tougher material, porcelain tiles is a very good example because you have to fix a lot of towel rails, toilet roll holders, anything like that to the wall. If they've got porcelain tiles, using a regular masonry bit, you'll go through 1 or 2 holes and then the drill bit is blunt. So what you need to do is use one of those bits that I've just shown you guys with the diamond tip coating. That's going to allow you to go straight through, but I've never actually tried it on a stone bench top. So that's what I'm about to try now. This is just for simple demonstration purposes. I'd rather try it here than try it on somebody else's job. So let's test this one here out. I'll quickly grab a 5mm drill bit because I prefer to usually use 5mm drill bits. Just make sure that I've got a fresh one. This one here is going to do the job just fine. So this one is just a quick test. Like I said, I'd rather test it out on this little off-cut piece that I've got here than somebody else's house, which I would never do. So let's just find out. If I drill straight through this, is it going to go through? Is it going to turn red and purple and then just start smoking up and no longer work, which is pretty much what I'm guessing is going to happen. But let's find out. I'll take my center punch so it doesn't bounce around. Let's find a little inconspicuous spot around here. And we'll test this one here out and see how we go. That was actually much quicker, a lot nicer. There's surprisingly not that much heat that's built up on this drill bit, which is very interesting. I've never actually tried it, so that's the reason why we use the diamond tip coating. Always on anything delicate, anything that you want to protect and not risk damaging. But that was super interesting. So for those of you who have hung around, that's gone through on the 20mm bit as well. Super interesting. I think I might have to experiment a little bit more with this. Well, you know what? if you've actually watched this far, we might as well try it out. I'm going to go through, drill maybe 5 more holes. I'm not going to add any water. We're just going to keep going and see what happens to this bit, because if it's the same concept as with your porcelain tiles, this drill bit shouldn't really go through 1 or 2 more holes and it should be done. But if it can go through, say, another 3, 4, 5 holes, that's going to be really, really interesting. Doesn't look like any damage is being done to this bit. Let's drop these center points. And we'll go through. Next one. Alright, now I'm absolutely baffled. I honestly haven't tried it. Somebody mentioned once in the comments that when I say to be honest, does that mean that I'm usually dishonest? Which is a very, very good point. I've never really thought about it that way. But yeah, I'm generally pretty honest. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 holes in a row. Drill bit. Got a bit of heat to it. Hasn't changed colour yet. Still looking like new, to be honest. And that wasn't a new drill bit. So this is super interesting. Would I try it on somebody's job? Honestly, even after this test, I probably wouldn't do it, except if it's an absolute last resort. Always prefer to use the regular drill bit, the one with the diamond coating. That's going to be your safest bet. You're not going to risk cracking it, overheating, ruining your drill bits. But this one here's got me baffled. I've never actually tried it. So there you go. For those of you who have hung around, we've learned something new both together. No shame in learning something new. So there we have it, guys. If you want to see how to glue broken stone, let me know in the comment section below if you've hung around this far. I'll break this one here in half and try and glue it back together. I'll show you guys how we can do that, if I'll be able to actually break this in half. But for those who are interested, let me know in the comment section below, guys. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto.